Hey, hey, hey. All right. So we're talking about carbs today. And what a perfect day to talk about carbs because we're all thinking about things that we love, right? So on this day when we're thinking about things that we love, we can't help but not think and talk about carbs. So let's have at it, right? You're probably like maybe grabbing some chocolate as we speak because that is what today tends to seem like it's about. And so here's what we're going to do. Carbs are not your enemy. And so I want to go over and break down for you exactly carbs got a bad rep. They got a real bad reputation. Would you agree? Like thumbs, likes, loves, as you would think. Yes, we've got this crazy love-hate relationship with carbs. We love them. We want to have everything to do with them. We want to eat all the time. And yet we have this real big guilt surrounding them, thinking that they're bad for us. So I am going to give you some examples in just a little bit on how you can incorporate, what I'm going to go over here real quick, how you can incorporate them into your daily routine. So I'll kind of give you a play-by-play on what might be good where to help you make sure that you're getting in the awesome benefits that carbs provide. And so cutting them completely, and I'll go over that, is really not the answer. It can provide wreak a lot of havoc, okay? So basically, right, lots of diets out there promote low carbs. Low carbs or no carbs. And this is the truth. You will lose weight fast if you stop having carbs. The thing is, it's only for a brief amount of time. And then even if you are one of those few who can stay headstrong and stick with it and not cave and have the carbs, basically they've proven that cutting back carbs, not no carbs, different story, cutting back carbs, okay, will give you the quick results. And then after 6 months, no matter what plan you are following, it is no better or worse than a different kind of plan. So I personally would love to keep some of my carbs. Like I talk about all the time how I lost the weight and I had my beer and I ate my cookies, my brownies, and I love my pizza. All carb things, right? And I did it fairly quickly, but I still got to incorporate those things. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, high and mighty, right? I completely fell for this carbs are bad. Even as a health coach, even as a young health coach, even within like a few years ago, I was teaching keep the carbs to a minimum. When I first started and I started having my great results, I wasn't incorporating my carbs. And what happened was I got really stuck. And I got to that point where I wanted to tone. Like I had lost weight, but I really wanted to really kind of shift some things and tweak some things. And my coach looked at my meal plan and said, but Erin, you're not eating any starchy carbs. I was having fruits and vegetables, but I wasn't having any kind of rice, potato, pasta, bread. None of that was in there when I was in the thick, okay? And she said, no. Go add 1 serving and let's see you next week. And holy moly, my body fat went down. That was awesome. So my muscle mass increased. And I've gone over this before. This is just a side note, not really in my cheat sheet notes for today. But your protein needs carbs to be carried to the muscle. It's like the boat that carries them over. So you actually need them so that you can benefit from the proteins that you're eating so that your muscles can stay strong and lean and all that good stuff. So it was nuts. And then I continued on that path, got down to my small size because I added carbs. So I want to go into some things about carbs, the reasonings behind this, and make sure that you understand that you can have carbs and you can lose weight. And that's a good thing because when we try to cut them out, we tend to crave them more. Okay, and then you feel like you fail, right? Anybody else feel like you fail? All right, so if you have fallen into this trap and you think carbs are bad, I want you to put carbs in the comments below because like I just said, fell into the same trap. Guys, I'm Erin Moore, tight size 17. when I actually checked my weight. After my daughter, my second baby, I never checked the size, but I promise you those clothes did not fit. So plus size clothing, down to a 2-4, and I'm here to tell you that carbs can be incorporated because I did it. I've done it both ways, and boy, do we feel better when we have carbs. Why? Because the body uses carbs as your main source of energy. So how that, not to bore you with science, but your body uses carbs to create glucose. Glucose is your main source of energy. Anytime that you consume a carb, it is going to mess with your blood sugars. And that's why we go, ooh, they're bad. So if you want to lose weight or you want to regulate and maybe stay away from diabetes, or you have it, like, this is a top-notch concern for us, right? So what we've got to realize is not all carbs are created equal, which I think we can all agree on. But so if I go eat a whole grain piece of bread versus a donut, I want to give a bad example. I want to kind of give you one that we normally would do. But the glucose goes into the bloodstream at a much slower rate when it's a carb that is high in fiber. So your high fiber foods, fruits, vegetables, your whole grains, okay? So 100% whole wheat, an apple with the skin on it, broccoli, things that are high fiber. The higher the fiber content, the slower the release is going to be of the glucose. So get those in because they're chocked full of nutrients and vitamins. And again, we actually need our body utilizing and making that glucose for energy, and it's critical for your brain health, okay? So if you're just like, I'm good, I don't need the energy, which I don't know if anybody's saying that. Okay, I got to see some thumbs up in the comments if you are somebody who's saying I don't need any energy. You can put a thumbs down if you are wanting some more energy, right? So we need this for our brain health. We need it for our energy. I'm looking down at my cheat sheets because I'm just rocking and rolling and want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yep, got all that stuff. So it just takes longer to digest when it has high fiber. And therefore, because it's taking longer to digest, it is actually releasing the glucose into your bloodstream at a regulated pace. So this is okay. It's when we skyrocket and then we plummet that creates all kinds of havoc. It creates us craving more stuff. We feel out of control. We feel like we have no willpower. It's only because your sugars are going like this, right? So we're here to just stop that roller coaster. Enjoy carbs because we need them for a health benefit. But so here's the thing, refined carbs. Refined carbs are the ones I like to kind of call the tricky ones. We know a donut is bad. Can we agree a donut is bad? Can I get an amen, right? Donuts are tasty and yummy and gooey, but we all agree that we're not eating a donut thinking, oh, I'm being healthy, I'm getting a good carb in, right? Okay, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but man, we have some weird phrases that we say. I have friends like outside of the U.S. and they're like, man, you guys have some really kooky things that you say. I'm sure that they would say that to that one too. But anyway, but refined carbs are the ones that you might think of as good, like our rice, our bread, our pasta, white stuff. Most of us have heard like, hey, you want to do the whole grain and not the white, but we don't quite understand what that even means. So if it's white, don't bite. There's your tip of the day, okay? Because the refined carbs are the ones that have been completely stripped of the nutrients that are beneficial to you in a carb form, okay? Not only that, they add sugar to it. So what's that doing to your blood sugars and your cravings and all that good stuff when you're trying to lose weight or regulate your blood sugars for other purposes, right? So it's not that the carbs are bad, but we've got to know how to eat them. We can eat ourselves some whole grains, some fruits, some vegetables, and then if you have the bad stuff in there every once in a while, it's okay. It's okay. I am just like I said, drink my beer, eat my pizza, love my brownies, and I lost the weight, guys. 61.3 pounds this last time after my daughter, plus size clothing, down to a 2, you can eat your carbs. But I'm telling you, if you start to fill your diet with the healthy carbs that I just mentioned, you will actually crave things less. So when you decide to enjoy a cookie at work or whatever, or hello, today, the day of love, you're getting some chocolates, you have some chocolates, don't beat yourself up over it. Eat the chocolate and then turn around and get back on track. And you can do that best by actually eating some whole grains, some fruits, some veggies, because then your body's still getting the carbs. You didn't go in like this total detox of them, and it'll help you get back on track. Okay, so I talked about that stuff. So I want to give you an example. How can you increase your carbs? So let's say you're going to enjoy the candy a little bit too much today, and then tomorrow you kind of want to get on track, right? So a great breakfast option could be, or a great way to add in the carbs is to get what I call a starchy carb. The ones that aren't the fruits and the vegetables. So the whole grains, the potatoes, the rice, the pasta, the bread, the beans, all that stuff, okay? The things that aren't the fruits and vegetables that are a carb, I call the starchy carbs. So if you really want to be on your A game, have your starchy carbs for breakfast. So have some oats. Maybe have some oats with some eggs so that you're still getting protein in. If you're somebody, because it's all the rave, right? Crave or whatever, is to have shakes. If you're somebody who has a shake, my big warning on your shake is if you're having that for breakfast or some other meal, and it's meant to be a meal, if it is a protein shake, it's not a complete meal. You want something that's complete. So it has some carbs, it has some fats, it's got the other stuff in it, okay? If you want recommendations, send me a message, right? And I'll give you some recommendations on what's gonna actually fit the bill, right? But so oats with eggs would be a good option. A complete meal shake would be a good option if you want something fast, easy, right? You could have some sweet potatoes. You could even make up a omelet with some potatoes cooked in there, something where you're getting that starchy carb mixed in. Then add, so if you're at 0, add 1. If you're at 1, you're still adding 1, okay? But so how to start, especially tomorrow, you enjoy yourself a little bit too much today, is to add a serving of vegetables with your lunch and with your dinner. If you are somebody who really likes sweets in the evening, if you are somebody who's been coaching with me for a while, you might roll over right now. Not over in your grave, okay? But you might have rolled on over, because this, again, is coming from a health coach who also was taught to be afraid of carbs. Is, if you want sweets at night, then have your fruit. I used to forever, and I would still say, if you really want the A game, fruit isn't necessarily, if you're trying to be a bikini model and you got a contest, you probably don't want fruit in the evening. But if you're just trying to lose some weight, maintain some sanity, have fruit for your dessert. Even put a little whipped cream on it. Go for gold here, right? You don't have to completely restrict. But again, if you're having your carbs on a regular basis, and you're choosing the right ones, your cravings for the not so right ones will decrease drastically. But if you're going, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going low carb, no carb, it's not going to serve you well, because again, glucose, the carb, your body uses the carbs to make glucose. Glucose is needed for your main energy store. It's also needed for your brain. I wanted to repeat that because I can't express enough that carbs are needed. We just don't need pounds and pounds in a plate like this big, let's go out to eat and eat a whole big, huge bowl of white pasta, right? But if you happen to have that, you enjoy it and you get back on track. Okay, so enjoying your carbs, but so adding the extra servings at lunch and dinner of some veggies, having some fruit for your dessert, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I didn't come on here and go, yay, you get to have your Snickers and your brownies and your pizza, and it's going to be super healthy and it's awesome. So I'm sorry if that burst your bubble, but just like I said, I had all those things. I went from plus size clothing down to a 2. I enjoyed those things all along the way, and you can too, but we've got to create this healthy relationship with the word carbs. Because I'm telling you what, I would love to hear from you. When I say carbs, carbohydrates, does it like create some kind of like alert system in your body, in your brain? We're just like, oh my gosh, carbs, and we're scared to death. So we've got to create a better relationship with carbs, even with the word, because it makes us cringe, right? Like, oh my gosh, I love them, but I hate them, but I don't know what to do with them. So hopefully just knowing that carbs are needed can create a little bit less stress, a little bit less anxiety for you. Okay. And I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to hear more information on this or just have some questions about something I said, feel free to comment. Love to see who's out there. Say hi. I'm not used to nobody coming on and saying hi as I'm going live. I know I didn't announce ahead of time, but it's still always fun to see you. So whether you're watching live or on replay, say hi. I want to say hi back. And yeah, just have a beautiful and healthy day. If you want a freebie, I didn't give away a freebie, type freebie. I'll reach out to you and find out what you want for free. We've got some recipes, we've got some free classes, got some free hacks. So just write free in the comments below and I'll get over something to you because I didn't say anything about that today. So have a beautiful and healthy day and keep healthy simple. Bye.